Work. It has changed drastically ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, especially here in the United States. Many businesses were forced to close their doors and transition into an online work setting. This alteration in work environment was a big factor as to why the social dynamic at work changed. From interacting with coworkers on a day-to-day basis to merely seeing them on a screen. Nevertheless, this transition raised many flags for certain racial groups, primarily in the white population. However, it was beneficial to minorities as it decreased the number of awkward conversations with coworkers that had created a toxic work environment, adding on to the concept known as office culture. Racism in the workplace can take many forms, from overt acts of discrimination and harassment to more subtle forms of biases and microaggressions. It can manifest in hiring and promotion decisions, pay disparities, and unequal access to opportunity and resources. However, with the change into an online work setting, the challenges of office culture were limited, which increased minorities' sense of belonging by 27%, according to Pew Research. Here in the United States, the issue of office culture is prevalent, creating barriers for marginalized communities through racist remarks and even jokes. According to a report from the New York Times, 1 in 4 black workers have experienced discrimination at work, and 3 in 4 black workers say the discrimination they experienced was race-based. It's evident that there is a problem within the workplace that is significantly impacting specific groups of people. Some forms of these microaggressions can be seen through SNL's skit, MacGruber.
Time to relax, time to chill, Darrell. Once we get out of here, once we scram, Darrell.
It's pronounced Darrell.
Oh, like a white Darrell.
Although the skit doesn't take place within the typical workplace, instances like these are extremely common within the office. Microaggressions as such can be seen as something small and not harmful. However, their impact in the workplace can be devastating and attack one's culture. Darman, a YouTuber known for his skits, also pointed out this prevalent issue.
Shaniqua, please. You know what? Don't you have like an easier, nicer name that I can call you?
Kids in school used to call me Shannon.
Perfect.
But I prefer Shaniqua. It means the gift of God in my culture.
Well, I'm just telling you, that name is definitely not a gift of God.
Interactions such as these can lead to feelings of isolation, fear, and anger among employees who are targeted, and can create a toxic and hostile work environment. It can also have financial consequences for organizations, as studies have shown that diversity and inclusion are key drivers of motivation and productivity. Now that society has deemed that we are in a post-COVID phase, many Americans are returning to work. So what does this mean for people of color? Well, this means that office culture is unfortunately returning, which is why many people of color are choosing to work virtually rather than in person. According to the Los Angeles Times, in the United States, 81% of black workers would prefer a fully remote arrangement of work. So it doesn't come as a surprise that people of color are hesitating from working in person. What are the foundations that we can begin to build in order to provide a safer and healthier workplace for minorities? And we have to question, why is this issue not being spoken about? We'll talk about that later in next week's video.